imagine a piece of fabric that breathes. Imagine a simple cloth made of cactus fibers, a material that should have turned to dust 400 years ago, yet it remains perfectly preserved, radiating a warmth that science cannot explain. In the heart of Mexico City, protected by thick glass and the devotion of millions, hangs a mystery that has baffled Nobel Prize-winning chemists, investigators from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, and digital imaging experts for decades. This is not a painting. It is not an artifact. It is a biological and physical anomaly that defies every law of nature we think we understand. The deeper investigators looked, the darker the truth became. What they discovered hidden within the fibers of this ancient cloak was never supposed to be seen by the public. This is the truth of the living Tilma. And once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. Welcome to the Forbidden Cipher, where hidden history, forbidden knowledge, and ancient mysteries are brought into the light. On this channel, we uncover the secrets buried beneath forgotten civilizations, lost biblical truths, mysterious discoveries, and the coded patterns shaping our world today. Every video is a journey into the unseen, challenging what we think we know about history, prophecy, and the earth itself. If you are passionate about hidden knowledge and truth-seeking, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an investigation. Your support helps this channel continue uncovering the mysteries others ignore. And if you truly enjoy this content, sharing these videos with others is one of the biggest ways you can help the Forbidden Cipher grow. Together, we decode the past to better understand the future. Now, let us uncover today's mystery. To understand the mystery of the Tilma, we must go back to the year 1531. A humble man named Juan Diego was walking across Teptac Hill when he encountered a woman of radiant light. She requested that a temple be built on that spot. When Juan Diego brought this message to the local bishop, Juan de Zumárraga, he was met with cold skepticism. The bishop demanded a sign. On December 12, 1531, Juan Diego returned to the hill and found Castilian roses blooming in the frozen winter soil. He gathered them in his rough cloak, known as a tilma, and carried them to the bishop. When he unfurled the cloth, the roses fell to the floor, but the bishop did not look at the flowers. He fell to his knees because an image of the woman had appeared on the fabric. This was the beginning of a 5-century investigation into the impossible. Revelation 1. The fabric that refused to die. The tilma is made from aique, a coarse fiber derived from the agave plant. Under normal conditions, this material has a maximum lifespan of 20 to 30 years. It is susceptible to humidity, fungus, and the natural rot of organic matter. For over 100 years, this specific tilma was displayed without any protective glass. It was exposed to the soot of thousands of candles, the damp air of a lake-bed city, and the constant touch of thousands of hands. By all accounts of material science, it should have disintegrated by the year 1560. Yet today, the fibers remain as strong and supple as the day they were woven. In 1789, a scientist created a replica of the image on the same type of agave cloth. Within 8 years, the replica had completely rotted away. The original tilma remains unscathed. Even more shocking is the event of 1785. A worker was cleaning the silver frame of the image and accidentally spilled a large amount of nitric acid directly onto the fabric. In any other circumstance, the acid would have eaten a hole through the fibers instantly. Instead, the liquid left a faint stain that miraculously faded over the following 30 days. Today, there is no structural damage to the area where the acid was spilled. It is as if the cloth possesses a self-healing property unknown to modern chemistry. Revelation 2. The living temperature of the image. Perhaps the most unsettling discovery made by researchers is the thermal reading of the tilma. In the late 20th century, investigators used sensitive heat sensors to measure the surface of the image. They expected the cloth to match the ambient temperature of the stone basilica, which is often cool and damp. Instead, they found that the image maintains a constant temperature of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the exact internal temperature of a living human body. This temperature does not fluctuate based on the external environment. It does not matter if it is a freezing winter morning or a sweltering summer afternoon. The image radiates a steady, human warmth. Some doctors have even claimed that by placing a stethoscope against the image, they have detected a rhythmic pulse of 115 beats per minute, the heart rate of a child in the womb. This has led many to conclude that the tilma is not an object, but a living biological entity. Revelation 3. The digital secrets hidden in the eyes. In the age of high-resolution digital imaging, a new mystery was exposed. Dr. Jose Estetanzman, an expert in digital imaging who worked with international business machines, spent over 20 years studying the eyes of the image. He magnified the eyes 2,500 times and discovered something that should be physically impossible for any artist to create. Within the pupils of the eyes, there is a reflection of the exact moment the tilma was unfurled before the bishop. Using the principles of the Perkinj-Sanson effect, which explains how images are reflected on the curved surface of a living eye, Dr. Tonsman identified 13 distinct figures. He saw Juan Diego, the bishop, an interpreter named Juan Gonzalez, and a black woman who was a servant in the bishop's household. The reflection is not a flat drawing. It follows the precise curvature of a cornea. The figures are so microscopic that they are invisible to the naked eye. In 1531, there was no technology capable of painting a reflection within a reflection on a surface as rough as cactus fiber. There are no brushstrokes in the eyes. There is no evidence of sketching. The image is a photographic snapshot of a moment in time, captured centuries before the invention of the camera. Revelation 4. The pigments that do not exist on Earth. In 1936, the Nobel Prize-winning chemist Richard Kuhn was given 2 small fibers from the tilma for analysis. He was asked to identify the chemical composition of the red and yellow pigments used in the image. After an exhaustive study, Dr. Kuhn reached a conclusion that shocked the scientific community. He stated that the pigments did not belong to the animal, vegetable, or mineral kingdoms. They were not synthetic dyes. They were not natural oils. To this day, science has no explanation for what creates the color on the tilma. Later in 1979, Philip Cerna-Callahan and Jody B. Smith from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration used infrared photography to examine the image. They found that there was no underdrawing, no primer, and no protective varnish. The colors appear to hover slightly above the fabric, not soaking into the fibers as paint would. The image is iridescent, meaning the colors change slightly depending on the angle of the viewer, a phenomenon that cannot be achieved with standard pigments of the 16th century. Revelation 5. The astronomical map of the heavens. The mantle worn by the woman in the image is a deep turquoise blue, adorned with 46 gold stars. For centuries, people thought these stars were merely decorative. However, when astronomers mapped the positions of the stars on the mantle, they discovered a hidden message. The stars are not random. They represent the exact constellation patterns visible in the sky over Mexico City on the morning of December 12, 1531, the day the miracle occurred. The constellations are mirrored, meaning they are shown as they would appear if viewed from outside the universe looking down at the Earth. The position of the moon in the image also corresponds exactly to its phase on that specific day. The flowers on the woman's dress are not just floral patterns either. They correspond to the maps of the major volcanoes and mountains in Mexico. The entire image is a coded map of time and space, hidden in plain sight for 500 years until we had the technology to decode it. Revelation 6. The miracle of the unbreakable image. The Tilma has faced more than just the passage of time. It has survived a direct assassination attempt. On November 14, 1921, a man named Luciano Silva placed a powerful bomb hidden in a bouquet of flowers directly beneath the Tilma. The explosion was so powerful that it shattered the windows of the basilica and twisted a heavy bronze crucifix into a distorted shape. The marble altar was destroyed. Yet the thin glass protecting the Tilma did not even crack. The fabric remained completely unharmed, floating in the center of the devastation. This incident was the chosen moment when many realized that the Tilma was under a form of supernatural protection. It is a mystery that suggests a higher power is maintaining the integrity of this cloth against all physical threats. The truth is that the Tilma of Guadalupe defies every rational explanation we have. It is a fabric that should have rotted but lives on. It is an image with no paint, no brushstrokes, and no known origin. It carries a human temperature and hides a microscopic history within its eyes. It is a bridge between the physical and the divine, a coded message from 1531 that we are only now beginning to understand. But the real question is, why was this kept hidden? Why does the world refuse to acknowledge a biological anomaly that exists in our very midst? Is it because the truth is too shocking for the public to handle? Or is it because the Tilma is a calling, a sign that there is a paradise and a purpose beyond our control? As we look at the evidence, we are faced with a chilling choice. We can dismiss these findings as coincidences, or we can accept that we are looking at something that was never meant to be possible. The Forbidden Cipher will continue to dig deeper into these ancient patterns, but the final decoding is up to you. What do you see when you look into the eyes of the living Tilma? Do you see a relic of the past, or do you see a reflection of a truth that has been waiting 5 centuries to be exposed? Because this mystery was never really about the past. It is about what is coming next. If you found this investigation powerful, share it with those who are seeking the truth. Together, we will uncover what has been hidden. Until next time, remember that the truth is always there, waiting for the right cipher to unlock it. Is the world ready for what happens when the final code is broken?